Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital and welcome to the number one source back on Zcash and its price development. We're going to do a full update on the current situation for Zcash, what to expect. I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is only for people that watched my Zcash videos. And that is that luckily we saw this coming, okay? We saw or at least over the course of the last week, we've seen quite a lot of bearish pressure in the market on Zcash. Last week, Monday, I actually still longed Zcash, made some money on that. Not a ridiculous amount, but there was actually some, we did find some support. But then afterwards, we started pushing down. And right now we're down about 40% in the last week, which is obviously horrendous. And this is another, like before we talk about what to expect from Zcash, which I do have some pretty thought out predictions and some pretty thought out analysis on Zcash. So we'll definitely talk about that most. But I do want to talk a little bit about, in general, what we have seen in the last couple of months on Zcash. I mean, you saw the accumulation for whales starting on Zcash much earlier in August, September, and then all the big names started really shitting it in, maybe end of September, October. And what you can see is that most people that accumulated during that period of time, they really started chilling it right here towards October. Those are now, especially retail, in a loss, right? So yes, the big positions started probably scaling in much lower. Those are still the profit, although there are indications that those are selling off. But retail is outdone again by big names, by influencers, right? So please, even if it's the biggest of names when it comes to influencers, don't just risk your money all at once. I mean, it was pretty clear right here in November that this was some sort of a distribution. I told you about that. And it was pretty clear when we had that breakdown last week, Friday, that there was a possibility we were going to drop down lower if we did not put in the reclaim. So those that watched my videos were expecting this, but ultimately it hurts me that a lot of retail right now is probably hurting. And unfortunately, I think it is a little bit more likely that we're going to push down lower. You can see right now we have pushed down below the balance, below the distribution that we formed here at the top. The critical level was right here at 485. We lost that with volume. You can see right here on the 12-hour time frame, but you can see it better on the 4-hour time frame, that we retested that level as well. Never were we able to reclaim. And then we got a pullback market-wide and some bearish fundamentals, which I don't think we need to go in depth about those bearish fundamentals in a Zcash video, because ultimately it's not specifically for Zcash. And we started pushing lower, and at the moment there just doesn't seem to be any spot buying going on with Zcash. I should have looked this up before, of course, but if you look at Zcash right here, and if you look at the CVD, you can see that there's quite a lot of short positions actually being opened, long positions coming in, and those short positions are not being forced out, they're not being hunted. And there's absolutely no form of absorption or spot buying coming in, short covering, none of that yet. We dropped down below the 90-day rolling VWAP. We did create quite a few imbalances here to the upside. So I would say, short term, I can actually see Zcash coming back up. We did find intraday strong support here at 360. But then there's key resistance level at 400, 420, 430. I think we can push into that. I think we can find some stability, but ultimately, I think the trend is down on the 4-hour time frame, on the 12-hour time frame, and I think the next critical support, where I'm personally thinking about potentially scaling into Zcash, is very clear. That's 300. Okay, 300. We have a three-day time frame imbalance left. That's the closest imbalance we have until like 100, which is much lower. My apologies. We have the yearly rolling VWAP, we have the 3-day trend. That is and it's also a respected level, by the way, historically, as you can see right here. That is the level where I'm thinking about potentially scaling into Zcash. I think we're trending down into that level. That's my general expectation. Short term, I think we can find some stability and maybe liquidate some late shorters. So be aware of that, but ultimately, those are my thoughts. That's what I think you need to know. That's what I think you need to be prepared for. So hopefully it helps. I'll see you all in my next videos. If you want to see more Zcash updates, let me know, but also subscribe, because I will keep you updated on this. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching, everybody. Take care and bye.